What's up, everybody? This is Russell Brunson, and welcome to the Marketing Secrets Podcast. Tonight, we're going to be hanging out and talking a little bit about the fact that nobody owes you anything, and you should just be grateful for the opportunity.
So the big question is this: how are entrepreneurs like us, who didn't cheat and take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pockets, how do we market in a way that lets us get our products and our services and the things that we believe in out to the world, and yet still remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Russell Brunson, and welcome to Marketing Secrets.
All right, so I'm going to share with you guys some stuff tonight that I don't normally share. And probably have to decide if I wanted to share normally or not. And anyway, I'm going to go into that here in a minute. But I want to share one idea that's completely not related to marketing. Well, maybe it is. Who knows? So right now, I am eating this. In fact, I don't know if you can see this. If you guys are sitting here, I'm in my kitchen. This is my dinner. I share this because right now I'm on this how to get ripped before funnel hacking live diet with Bart Miller, and it's been fun. He's got me working out, doing all sorts of stuff, but then also had me eating very specific way. And I knew that there was no way I was going to be able to stick with it. In fact, the first day, Dave's doing it with me. We both went over to to the grocery store and bought stuff, and it was like $50 for that one day just to eat stuff. And it was like we just bought like packs of chicken breasts and broccoli, and that's, it was horrible. And the second day, like, I brought turkey from Thanksgiving from, a little bit ago, and then Dave ran out of time to buy food, so he literally had his son go and buy him packs of deli meat, and so he's sitting there all day, like, eating packs of deli meat. And by day two, we're like, we will never actually do this because this is too hard to actually live this way, which I'm sure is why a lot of people don't lose weight, and probably other things in your life you don't do because it's too hard to consistently do it. So we went online, we found someone here in Boise who cooks meals, and so we gave her all the macros, micros, all kind of stuff when it needs to be, and then every day she literally makes us 3 meals, drops them off in the morning, and they're all perfectly cooked, fine-tuned, healthy, with exactly like the carbs, macros, micros, fats, proteins, everything that is perfect for what it's supposed to actually be. So that's what I'm eating now. This is my 3rd meal today, and it's nice not to think, just to grab and eat. So I recommend for any of you guys, and it's not that expensive. Like, we're paying, I think, like $300 a week for this, which if I was to go out one day a week, that's way more than $300. For 1 meal a week, that's way more than $300. This is 3 meals a day, plus keeps me, all I'm allowed to put in my mouth is what she puts into the boxes. That's it. So just a thought. Find someone to cook your meals for you and do other things that are keeping you from getting the goals you want. So, all right, so I digress. What I want to share with you guys today, or tonight, is pretty important, I think. So I was going to share one thing, but there's just stories I can't tell. So there's been, honestly 3 or 4 situations in the last 2 weeks that have been insane. It's been probably some of the hardest 2 weeks of my life when it relates to the negative sides of business. And so for me, it's been funny because I've been trying to block it and defend it because I just need to keep moving forward. And the negativity of stuff can keep me or you or anybody from moving forward, right? So I don't want to share those specific stories, but the way that people dealt with them was really, I don't think, right. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go deeper into it. But I do want to share something that actually, I want to share this, not to brag. That's not the point, but to show that I practice what I preach. I don't just talk about this stuff, but I actually believe it, because I think that's important. And so that's the only reason I'm sharing this story, and hopefully it'll help some of you guys to think about how you should deal with stuff in the future. So, and maybe, hopefully it'll help at least somebody out there. So, some of you guys know that a couple of years ago, there's a company that got launched called Pruvit. And I was part of the original team to help launch that. And I was the dude who wrote the script for the animated video. I had my animators animate the whole thing, and that became the campfire video for anyone who's in that company. And in exchange for me doing that initial stuff, I negotiated some equity in the company. The equity right now, looking at where the company has blown up for in the last 3 years, is worth insane amounts of money. Well over 8 figures, and probably closer to, well, it's insanely a lot. And I negotiated that ahead of time, and then I was going to do a bunch of other things for the company, and just for some reason, some things didn't work because it was hard within the company. Network marketing companies and software makes it hard to do some of the funnels and things I was planning on helping with. So that was kind of hard, and then ClickFunnels was taking off at the same time, and so I was focusing there. And just when all said and done, at the end of the day, I didn't do what I thought I was going to do. But what I did have is this really cool fancy thing called a contract that I had signed that said I own X% of the company. And, but, and the situation with the multiple people this week, it was not the same situation. It was something kind of like that. And it was like where people didn't pull their load, and then they're like demanding this justice, which was unjust because they didn't do anything. And it's like, it makes me so angry and frustrated. And so I was thinking about that myself, and I was like, I'm in the same situation here. Like, based on what I negotiated 3 years ago, I own X% of this company, and well, that's awesome, and it's worth insane amounts of money. If I'm completely honest with myself, it is not fair. Not to me, it's not fair to them. And if I was in their situation, I know that in my mind, I would be annoyed by me all the time. Everyone thought me like, man, Russell got this thing, and he did this little thing up front, and then we haven't heard from him in the last 3 years. He's been doing his own thing. He's run his own direction. And instead of just like being like, ha, I got the contract, you owe me, I went actually actively reached out to them and said, hey, I don't feel like I deserve this. And Brian, who's the owner of the company, of course, he's like, no, you totally deserve it. I'm like, no, I don't. And I'm okay with that. Like, I thought I was going to be doing this, and this for this movement, and I didn't. I wasn't able to. Some things were because of technical things that didn't connect on the funnel side, and some is because I just didn't have time, and I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I was like, it's not fair to you, and I don't want someday when you sell this thing to be mad at me or angry at me when you have to give me a huge check because I didn't deserve it, and I didn't earn it, and I don't want it. And he's like, well, this is kind of weird. He's like, well, what do you want? And I was like, for what I did, like, I think this is what would make sense. And it's literally like me giving back 8 figures worth of cash and just being like, here you go, and taking something way less because that's what I actually earned, and that's what I deserve. And I think he was kind of confused, and then he said, okay, and now we're making the transition, the shift away, and I'm signing away my equity in exchange for something way less because that's what I actually earned and what I actually deserve. Okay, and so that's what I want you guys to start thinking about and doing. Like, don't, like, in a situation with a business partner or a friend or an employer or like whatever it is, like, get what you actually deserve, but don't get more. Like, don't, I don't know. This weird thing in society where people think they deserve everything, and it's ridiculous. It's insane. Like, I wouldn't believe some of these things if they didn't happen to me over the last 2 weeks. But it's insane what people feel like they deserve, even though they don't deserve it. But because of something, they feel like they did, and it's so infuriating to me. I remember I had a chance to hear this guy speak a little while ago named Nito Quabain. If you guys never heard of him, he is like one of the best speakers I ever heard. I heard him probably 7 or 8, probably 10 years ago now at a Dan Kennedy event. And I think he's like the CEO or something of Wonder Bread and a bunch of other things, and he's an entrepreneur, and he basically came to the country with like $20 in his pocket and built this huge empire, and just an awesome dude. And I guess in the speech, I'm totally gonna slaughter it because this is a decade ago I heard it, and I don't remember all the details, but I do remember the feeling I got and the message. But he talked about how he basically got a job as the I don't know what they call him in college, like he was in charge of the dean of, anyway, he was in charge of this college, right? And it was his college was struggling. He was coming in to turn it around. And he came in the first day, or first week. He worked really hard for the first week, and then he came in. They handed him a paycheck, and he said, "What's this for?" And he said, "This is your paycheck." He's like, "Well, I haven't done anything yet." And they're like, "Well, you get paid every 2 weeks. That's how it works." So they gave him the check, and he sat on his desk. He's like, "I did not earn that." And then he kept working. Next 2 weeks later, they came in. They gave him the next paycheck. And he's like, "What is this for?" And like, "That's your paycheck." He's like, "I didn't earn that." He put it down. And he kept trying to, his job, his role was to transform the university. And he kept doing that, kept trying, and it took him a while because it's a big thing to do. And eventually, I can't remember, a year, 2 years, 3 years later, whatever it was, he transformed this university and had this big impact. And at the time, like I think somebody said, come in his office, and he had this stack from the 5 or 6 inches tall of these envelopes. And someone said, "Wait, what's that big stack?" He said, "Those are the paychecks they keep giving me, but I haven't earned them yet, so I'm not gonna, like, they're not mine." And I remember hearing that and just being like that's the right attitude. Like I don't know, as opposed to the other situations where it's like you try to like slip your way in, and then if you don't get what you want, you try to sue somebody, or you try to like get a contract signed and try to sneak, and then you stop doing what you committed to doing, or whatever that thing is. It's just like, it's insane to me. And like I said, it's happened 4 times in the last probably 6 weeks. Yeah, dang. The people have done that where they feel like they deserve something, and so they're threatening to sue, or they feel like they deserve something, and because they had a contract, they didn't actually do what they committed to do, and like all these things. And it's just so frustrating to me. It's like, that's not how I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered as a person who actually earned, like, I got what I earned, and I showed up, and I did what I said I was going to do. And if I didn't say I was going to do, then I didn't take what I had contractually signed to because the contract said, because I know inside of my heart that I broke the contracts. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Okay, and so I don't want someone who wants to come in and try to get what's not mine through threats and through all these, like, it's just ridiculous. Okay, I want to be the kind of person who someday I can tell my kids, I can tell my grandkids, hopefully someday, 1,000 years from now, someone's going to watch this podcast, someone in my posterity, and be like, wow, great grandpa Brunson, he was a man of integrity. He actually did what he said he was going to do. And when he didn't earn something, he didn't contractually trick somebody like, oh, well, we got a contract, so it kind of sucks. Like, yeah. No, I freaking gave it back to him because I didn't earn it. And I took what I did earn. And I hope that, hope that rings true to some of you guys. If it does, it'll be worth the rant for tonight. So I hope it does. And if you haven't heard Nidio Quabain speak, I'm going to try. I bought a bunch of his stuff back in the day. I wonder if I can find that presentation where he talked about that, because it was so impactful to me just to hear that and realize that, like, that's how we should be working. Like, just because the rest of the world shows up to work, falls asleep and gets a check every 2 weeks, like us, the people who are producers who are moving forward, like, that's not how we should look at things. We shouldn't be okay with that. When our team's doing that, we shouldn't be okay with that when people around us are doing that. Like, we need to earn what we earn and go out there and do the thing. And that's the goal, right? And if you do work your butt off and you do the thing, you do earn the money, then be proud of it. Like, don't hide it, be embarrassed. Like, you actually worked your butt off, you deserve it. But don't do it the other way around, where you trick, cheat, scam, lie, whatever it takes to get what you think is yours, because it's not yours. You don't actually deserve it. Okay, you should just be grateful for the opportunity. And so that's where I'm leaving this one off. I'm grateful for the opportunity Pruvit gave me. I'm excited. It's funny, like, I should be so, like, sick to my stomach about this, but I have no issues. Like, I'm so excited to be giving back this equity and exchanging it for something that's really cool, that's a good fit. Like, that it's, anyway, it's just, it's good. And I feel good about it. And I'm going to sleep really, really good tonight because of that. And that's what really matters. And so hopefully that helps somebody. Hopefully my great grandkids are watching this and they straighten up when you hear it, because it's important. And that's all I got. So thanks, you guys, for listening. Appreciate you all, and have an amazing day.
Want more marketing secrets? If so, then go get your copies of my 2 best-selling books. Book number 1 is called Expert Secrets, and you can get a free copy at expertsecrets.com. And book number 2 is called .com Secrets, and you can get your free copy at .comsecrets.com. Inside these 2 books, you'll find my top 35 secrets that we've used to become the fastest growing non-VC-backed SaaS startup company in the world.